You can't trust doctors either. They're all mixed up.
You really
kidding?
think so, huh?
My proctologist used to be a photographer.
Yeah?
Hey, he took x-rays, told me to bend over and say cheese.
Rodney Dangerfield perfected the art of turning personal misery into pure comedy gold.
This girl was fat and ugly. Ooh, was she ugly?
Ugly?
How ugly? I took her to the beach. They asked me what I used for bait.
These are Rodney Dangerfield's top 50 jokes of all time. The smoking after intimacy deal.
I mean, as a kid, my house was always crowded, always people around, you know? You know, I come from a big old-fashioned, hard-working, stupid family. That's what I come from. I tell you, when I was a kid, nobody liked my family, you know? They always wanted to get rid of us. I remember one time my family went on a picnic in the woods. The animals started a forest fire. Now, with me, nothing comes easy. My wife, she don't help either, you know? Every time I take a few drinks, she hides the bottle. Oh, I admit I'm a bad drinker. I'm not nasty or nothing. But I'll tell you, when I drink the next day, I gotta do two things. I gotta try and locate my car, and I gotta bring back the car I took. I'm a bad.
Rodney opens the smoking bit like he's quitting cigarettes, then flips it into marriage humiliation, using a different name in Alcoholics Anonymous.
No, but I've been working hard, Johnny, and I'm trying to relax, you know? I go to Las Vegas next week, the resorts after that. I got an album coming out, a movie coming out. I'm working very hard.
Yeah.
Well, you know, my father, he was a workaholic.
Really?
Oh, yeah. You mentioned work, he got drunk.
I didn't know.
Well, I finally solved my drinking problem. I joined Alcoholics Anonymous, you know.
Wonderful.
Yeah, I still drink. I use a different name, that's all.
The audience expects a responsible recovery story, but his solution is entirely dishonest. Robbery note after leaving Lights On.
Hey, Rodney! Well, they canceled my show. I'm trying to make some extra money.
Rodney tried making his apartment look occupied, but the burglar left his own message just for him.
Now get those hands up.
Hey, Bob, give me a break, will you? I mean, I'm tired.
You can put one arm down.
Which one?
The one nearest your wallet.
Dog that forgot how to stand.
Now, you kid, I know my wife cheats on me. Every time I come home, the parrot says, quick, out the window, you know? I mean, my house, I can't relax.
Really?
I got a dog, he drives me nuts. I got a dumb dog, you know? We call him Egypt. Every room, he leaves a pyramid. My kids, they don't help either, you know?
No good, huh?
Ooh, no, my kids, they're very smart kids I got, you know?
Yeah.
But the other day, I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so are you.
Teaching a dog to sit sounds harmless, but Rodney stretches the time frame until it's considered ridiculous. Dr. Vinny Boombatz's questionable book sequel.
My friend, Dr. Vinny Boombatz.
Vinny Boombatz, how is
Oh, he's okay, he's fine.
How is the good doctor?
He's not mixed up at all. He knows what he's doing every minute. He's busy writing.
Is he doing some new book, is he?
Oh, a new book just came out, a big book, Johnny. Love story.
Love story?
All about a girl who had a wild romance with an architect.
What's it called?
The book is entitled, She Fell in Love with His High-Rise. Too deep.
Dr. Vinny Boombatz's name alone sounds like trouble before the joke even arrives, which is the reason audiences reacted more than expected. Refrigerator full, but nothing to eat.
I don't like classy restaurants.
You don't like classy
I
restaurants?
like to eat home.
Home.
Home, I don't have to worry about a tie and a jacket, nothing. You know, you want something else, no big production with waiters. You open a refrigerator, I see what's around.
Right.
If I got a refrigerator at home, I can't figure. It's very deceiving.
Ah.
My refrigerator, it's always full. There's nothing to eat. We got things in our refrigerator like a half a bottle of flat soda, a cup with a broken egg in it. This broken egg has been laying there for 4 months, just waiting for someone to scramble it. We have one bottle of ketchup that we use. Then we have another bottle of ketchup. It's almost empty. It's been there now for a year and a half. And there's one thing more in our refrigerator. A big pot takes up a whole shelf. And the only thing that's in this big pot is a half a boiled potato.
Just sit there.
Rodney turns the refrigerator into a tiny museum of household failure. Each item feels sadder than the last, like the refrigerator itself is mocking him. Photographer turned proctologist.
Life's not easy.
Not easy. You can't trust doctors either. They're all mixed up.
You really think so, huh?
My proctologist used to be a photographer.
Yeah?
Hey, he took x-rays, told me to bend over and say cheese. I'll tell you my trouble. I got the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombatz. Know my doctor? What a doctor. You kidding? What a doctor. I called him up. I told him I had diarrhea. He put me on hold.
The medical professional sounds less helpful than the illness as the old job leaks into the new one, taking sleeping pills when he wakes up.
And my doctor, he don't help either. He told me to run 5 miles a day for 2 weeks. I called him up. I said, Doc, I'm 70 miles from my house. I'll tell you my trouble. I got the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombatz. Know my doctor? doctor. Well, I called him last week. I told him, Doc, I swallowed a bottle of sleeping pills. He told me to have a few drinks and get some rest.
The instruction Rodney receives defeats the entire purpose of the medication, with even the audience realizing its stupidity instantly. Urine specimen with cocktail clue.
I tell you, my problem is I drink too much, way too much.
Yeah.
I get my doctor a urine specimen. There was an olive in it. When you know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombatz. Know my doctor? Like that, will ya? What a doctor. He's really mixed up. He grabbed my knee and told me to cough and hit me in the balls with a hammer. So when I was born, after the doctor cut the cord, he hung himself.
The setup suggests a routine doctor visit, then the specimen detail exposes how bad the drinking is. Jogging diet leads into restaurants.
I tell you, folks, with me, nothing comes easy. You know, I can't lose any weight. I tried jogging. I keep running into restaurants. But I was much heavier. I was fat, you kidding? I was so fat when I got my shoes shone, I had to take the guy's word for it. I mean, I was fat. I'll tell you that.
Even exercise becomes a path to food, as he's not running past restaurants, but into them with the failure being immediate. Rice diet turns into laundry.
I tell you, with me, nothing works out, you know? I'm still heavy. I can't lose any weight. Now, last week I went nuts. I tried the rice diet. Between meals, kept folding my shirts. I'll tell you, with me, weight is always a problem. I mean, where I come from, when I was a kid, you had to eat. You had to be big. Every day there was a fight. And you had to fight. Even if you didn't want to fight. You had to fight to get out of the fight. And sometimes we used to bet in a fight. If the guy we bet on lost, then we beat him up.
Rodney starts with a familiar weight loss idea, then twists it through rice paper. The grapefruit diet problem.
No, I tell you, I'm a little upset myself lately. My wife keeps bothering me. I'm putting on weight, you know? Yeah, she keeps coming up with new diets all the time. Well, one week she put me on a grapefruit diet. Yeah, for 7 days I had 10 grapefruits a day. It ended up I lost 4 pounds, I got a citrus rash. And my doctor, he don't help either. He told me to run 5 miles a day for 2 weeks. I called him up. I said, Doc, I'm 70 miles from my house. That's another beauty, my family doctor. He told me I need exercise in the right climate. Then he told me to run to Arizona.
The punchline shifts attention from pounds lost to a completely different physical consequence. Old man nailing down other foot.
My old man, he didn't help at all, my old man. We used to play tag and he'd drive. I mean, I had it rough. I told my old man I'm sick and tired of running around in circles. He got mad. He nailed down my other foot.
The father's solution is so harsh and literal, the whole family dynamic becomes absurd. Rodney delivering it without self-pity showed the joke would collapse if he begged for sympathy. Rodney is kidnapping proof.
My old man, he didn't help either. The time I was kidnapped, they sent back a piece of my finger. He said he wanted more proof. My old man, he didn't like my looks either. But he carried around a picture of the kid who came with the wallet. I mean, are you kidding? My old man never liked me. When he took me hunting, he gave me a 3-minute head start. And on the way home, he tied me to the fender, put the deer in the car.
The demand for more proof is horrifying if taken seriously, which is why Rodney's flat delivery matters. Instead of being rescued or mourned, Rodney becomes a negotiable object no one is convinced they want. Mickey Mouse childhood lie.
I mean, it was the same thing when I was a kid, no respect. My old man told me Mickey Mouse died in a cancer experiment. When I was a kid, my old man, he didn't help either, you know. The time I asked my old man if I can go ice skating on a lake, he told me to wait till it gets warmer. I remember things when I was a kid. The time I asked my old man where I came from, he told me I was brought by a crow.
The father gives him a grim, unnecessary story that destroys the fantasy completely. The zoo visit with his real parents.
My old man, he didn't help either, kept taking me to the zoo. He said he was hoping my real parents would claim me. My old man, he didn't help either. The time I asked my old man, how can I get my kite in the air? He told me to run off a cliff. I'll tell you, when I was a kid, I was ugly, too. I told my old man he never took me to the zoo. He said, if they want you, they'll come and get you.
The setup sounds like a simple childhood memory until his father's motive is revealed. The joke lands because it suggests Dangerfield's father saw the animals as a more believable family match than himself. Family picnic, terrified animals.
I mean, this afternoon, my wife cracked up the car again. I was out driving her. She told me she was going to make a U-turn. I'll tell you, the letter she made, you'll never find any out there.
The animals starting the fire implies the family is so unbearable that wildlife would rather destroy the woods. Marcello Mastroianni obsession.
Oh, the last time I was out with her, I saw one guy. He gave her a good piece of his mind. It was right after she took a good piece of his leg.
He takes his wife to an Italian movie, then spends the joke trapped under the shadow of a glamorous European star. The name itself becomes part of the joke because Rodney's reaction sounds more like food than romance. Alphabet soup help message.
Hey, my wife can't do nothing right. She can't cook, the worst cook in the world. Gave my kid alphabet soup. He spelled out help. What a lousy cook. I mean, how can toast have bones? She can't cook at all. I leave dental floss in the kitchen, the roaches hang themselves.
The child's food spells out the danger for him, turning the soup into a distress signal instead of dinner. Dental floss and roaches.
She's a lousy cook, too. She can't cook at all. I leave dental floss in the kitchen, the roaches hang themselves.
The pests in the kitchen react with despair, making the roaches become food critics, victims, and household witnesses. The kitchen, in his joke, doesn't just produce bad meals. It becomes a place even insects cannot tolerate. Dangerfield's family prays after they eat.
And I tell you, my wife, she can't cook either. My house, we pray after we eat.
Most people pray before dinner, but his family needs spiritual support after surviving the meal. The line being gentle enough to be television safe, yet still destroying his wife's cooking showed Rodney's whole domestic life at scale. Pressure cooker, dinner on ceiling.
I bought a pressure cooker. Now I eat off the ceiling. What a lousy cook. I don't think meatloaf should glow in the dark. I mean, if she can't cook at all, my backyard, the flies chipped in to fix the screen door.
The punchline puts the food above him, giving the audience a perfect image of dinner becoming shrapnel. Even practical improvements make life worse, fitting his marriage material like a glove. Henny Youngman got the wrong number.
Well, the other day I called my house. My boy answered the phone. I said to him, let me talk to Mommy. I heard the kid say, Mommy, it's Daddy. Are you home?
The caller insists the number cannot be wrong because the mistake has happened before. Lonely traffic finger.
Oh, it's on full. Okay, yeah. I'm never lucky in bars. I saw a sign of a one bar. It said Topless, Bottomless. I went inside. There was no one there.
Life ain't easy.
I mean, nothing works, sir. I decided to look out for number one, and I stepped to number two. And smoking, that's another one. Try to stop smoking. That's a beauty, huh? Well, with cigarettes, my wife and I, we made a deal, my wife and I. We only smoke after I got the same pack now since 1975. What bothers me is my wife. She's up to 3 packs a day.
The traffic insult becomes something he enjoys because any attention is better than none. The line is not about romance directly, but about a man so starved for connection that even abuse feels like contact. Girlfriend ran away with best friend.
Now, you kid, I know my wife cheats on me. Every time I come home, the parrot says, quick, out the window, you know? My wife is nothing. My wife cut me out to once a month. Cut me down to once a month. Oh, I'm lucky. 2 guys I know she cut out completely.
The audience expects the best friend to be another man, but Dangerfield's punchline reveals the loss is a stranger. The Vegas population joke.
I love it out here, you know. I like to go to Vegas, too, you know.
Do you?
I'm going to Vegas for a couple of days. I always go over there. You meet so many wonderful, wonderful people in Vegas, gentlemen. No idea.
Can you tell us about a few of them?
Well, last time I was there, I met a lovely girl. Oh, a lovely girl. Valerie Dubois.
Valerie Dubois.
Oh, a lovely girl. Valerie Dubois. In fact, she told me to call her VD for short.
I didn't, Valerie.
Wonderful people out in Vegas.
Yeah,
really nice. But, oh, Vegas really swings. They got the gambling there, the big hotels and nightclubs. Oh, that's what big nightclubs they got there.
Yeah.
Something isn't really so different than the places I worked when I broke in. You know, tough places.
You work in the little joints, right?
Oh, I work tough place. You know, places like Rosario's Rocket Room. You know.
Rosario's Rocket Room. Tough.
Dominic's Atomic Bar and Grill. Oh, that was another one. Sure.
He begins like he's sharing a local fact. Then the punchline explains why the population supposedly stays level. The joke is not about him being personally rejected, yet it still feels like his worldview, because every social system is corrupt and ridiculous. The romance book line.
So you say you were a friend of Tom's. How did you meet him?
It was on a blind date. Hey, this is a good joint, expensive.
The title reveals that the romance is really about immigration paperwork and convenience. Topless Bottomless bar wouldn't let Rodney inside.
Hey, when I drink, I don't know what I'm doing. I was loaded one night, I went into a bar. It was ridiculous. There was 15 guys for every guy. This was on full. It's on full. Okay, yeah. I'm never lucky in bars. I saw a sign of a one bar. It said Topless, Bottomless. I went inside. There was no one there.
The sign sounds outrageous enough to promise something wild, but the punchline makes the advertising literally empty. The number 1 and number 2 philosophy.
I know I'm getting old. I'm at the age now, if I hear someone goes both ways, I figure it's number 1 and number 2, you know.
Looking out for number one sounds like self-help, but his punchline drags the phrase into slapstick embarrassment. Bill Gates-era talk show Rant.
Well, my wife is always something. The other night I was sleeping, she started to say things, you know. I looked up, she was on the phone.
Gates represents the new computer age, while Rodney represents old-school nightclub timing and pure one-liner muscle. The comedy comes from Rodney refusing to modernize his persona for the room.
Why, in my neighborhood, they built a beautiful children's zoo. Last week, 4 kids escaped.
Really, yeah. Oh.
The Bill Gates couch follow-up.
To take the plunge. Kids are a little more used to being confused, and they want to find something they can control, right. And the computer is great for that.
He doesn't try to compete with computer talk or topical relevance. Instead, he keeps reducing the room to his old core themes. Early Mike Douglas used car mileage joke.
It's really nice to be here with Mike again, you know. I tell you, I feel pretty good today. I mean, I just signed a big contract for 2 years. Yeah, I bought a new car.
The used car joke takes a normal buying complaint and turns it into a quick trust issue. Mileage becomes the symbol of everyone lying to Rodney, which is exactly how his world operates. The Mike Douglas set with young Rodney.
If you don't break it in right, they'll give you trouble. And if you get a used one, they always lie about the mileage.
The jokes are still short, bruised, and self-targeted, which proves the character was not a later invention. Rodney on food and travel.
Yeah, she keeps coming up with new diets all the time. Well, one week she put me on a grapefruit diet. Yeah, for 7 days I had 10 grapefruits a day. It ended up I lost 4 pounds, I got a citrus rash.
He doesn't need to be dirty or aggressive to make the audience feel his frustration. Travel becomes another field where comfort is impossible, and food becomes another way life mistreats him. Daffy and sorrowful persona.
Funny thing, you know, a lot of people know me, but they don't know my name. Hey, they look at me and they say, hey, what's your name again? I say, Rodney Dangerfield. They say, right.
Ed Sullivan's description of Rodney as both Daffy and sorrowful captures the whole audience and crowd appeal of the act. Dangerfield's jokes break Ed Sullivan.
A little late getting over here tonight. I took the wife and kids out for a ride, and I got lost over in Jersey, you know. Yeah. I'll tell you the way some people give you directions, you can't help but get lost.
The audience is watching a comic personality arrive fully built as he's already using it as a complete system. The jokes hit since he makes himself the target before anyone else can get there. Rodney's first Ed Sullivan TV appearance.
I'll tell you, after those directions, I don't even thank the guy. I looked at him, I said, I bless you.
He already understands that his persona works best when he sounds wounded, but not helpless. It's not easy being me.
I tell you, it's not easy being me. Well, last week my house was on fire. My wife told the kids, be quiet, you'll wake up Daddy.
The crowd already knows the basic persona, so he can start fast without explaining why his life is bad. Every first punchline confirms it, creating that classic Dangerfield pressure. Closing stand-up, it's not easy being me.
That's about it. I'm at the end of the line. Like everyone else in this thing called showbiz. I like applause, but I'll tell you, there's something to me that's more important than applause. May mean nothing to you, but a lot to me. It's just when I walk off, if you'd all just give me one of these.
By this point, every small complaint feels like it belongs inside a larger world where nothing ever goes right. Rodney's physical habits, especially the tugging at the collar making the jokes look like they're bothering him, in real time showed the no respect idea doesn't run out when the topics change. Dangerfield's 1978 stand-up set, Part 1.
I tell you, I'm all right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? I mean, last week I looked up my family tree, 2 dogs were using it.
The jokes breathe a little more, but the persona remains the same battered machine as he moves through personal failure with confidence. Unlike a couch segment, there is no host to react, so the laughs have to carry the momentum by themselves. Dangerfield's 1978 stand-up set, Part 2.
I saw my dentist too last week, another beauty. I said to him, Doc, look at my teeth, they're all getting yellow. He told me to wear a brown necktie.
Rodney doesn't change into a new persona, because the whole point is that every topic is processed through the same lifelong disrespect. The crowd's laughter matters, as there is no talk show safety net and no famous host to validate the moment showed Rodney controlling the room through pace, not storytelling. Rodney on his body aging.
I tell you, I can't relax. My kid drives me nuts. The other day I told him, I says, you're young, you don't have it upstairs. He told me I'm old, I don't have it downstairs.
The jokes are not just about getting older, but about losing dignity one symptom at a time. Rodney treats physical decline like bad customer service from his own body. Dangerfield gets big, laughs on The Tonight Show.
And I tell you, I can use a good crowd, you know? I mean, help me forget Las Vegas. I'm going broke over there. I mean, Vegas, you gotta go broke. They got slot machines all over, even in supermarkets. I bought a dozen eggs, cost me $442.
He comes out with short jokes that waste almost no setup time, which lets the room heat up quickly. The laughs arriving before he has to push for them showed the audience understands his rhythm almost immediately. Rodney at the top of his game.
Now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? I mean, last week I bought a whirlpool for my bath. So far, I lost 3 of my best ships.
The jokes move faster because he no longer has to introduce the character from scratch. Each line reinforces a world where his marriage body, doctors, friends, and family are all working against him. The best version bit.
I mean, you're kidding. In her graduation book, her picture is horizontal. It's ridiculous.
Shame.
My daughter, they call her Federal Express, you know.
What's that?
Yeah, when she goes to a guy's apartment, she absolutely positively has to be there over.
Rodney sounds completely locked into the rhythm from the first beat as he's older, sharper, and more relaxed. With the set size being tiny, the audience already knows the universe they're entering shows the formula operating at full efficiency. Rodney never lets up.
Great, you look great. You look like you fell off a wedding cake, you know, but it's all right.
He regards silence like danger, as every joke seems to arrive while the audience is still cracking up from the previous one he just told. The speed matters because it turns his miserable worldview into something almost athletic. Rodney gets no intimacy on Conan.
I'm at the age now, if I squeeze into a parking place, I'm satisfied. You know? Yeah.
Rodney frames romance as another arena where he is either ignored, laughed at, or betrayed. Conan reacting like he's watching a comedy legend compress an entire bad marriage into single lines showed the segment proves Rodney didn't need anyone in specific to make the no-respect persona work. The lottery win joke.
I tell you, I'm never lucky at gambling, you know. I was in a game show. I won a 20-day cruise in the Bermuda Triangle.
Even when something good happens, the audience expects the universe to find a way to embarrass him. Rodney plays the situation like money can't fix disrespect, but can only give people new ways to take advantage. The special host said, he can introduce new talent and still sound like a man who expects to be insulted by the furniture. The joke being in the contrast between his real position and his onstage identity showed Dangerfield utilizing his authority while comically denying that he has any whatsoever. Dangerfield destroys Jay Leno's interview.
I'll tell you more right now, but last week I was in rough shape, you know? Last week I told my kid, be honest, always be honest. He said, all right, I'm not your kid.
The act is older, but the structure is still hilarious as he moves with less youthful force, yet the punchline instincts remain intact. Rodney's voice carries the wear of age, which actually makes the complaints feel more authentic, proving the no-respect formula stayed funny long after most comedy styles would have expired. Rodney Dangerfield became one of the funniest comedians of all time, spending more than half a century flipping every rock-bottom point in his life into a punchline so perfect that audiences forgot they were supposed to feel sorry for him. That kind of talent on stage in front of thousands is something 95% of comedians today can replicate, all going to show how talented and funny Dangerfield truly was. From childhood rejection to marriage disasters, his jokes showed that getting no respect wasn't just a catchphrase, but a complete philosophy, where even good news arrived with bad consequences attached. Which of these Rodney one-liners hit you the hardest? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more iconic comedy moments.